You make it about a process, not about a person. That's the biggest thing. It's not, well, she does that and he does that. If you start doing that, you're going the wrong way, because he or she is going to take a day off, go on vacation, or God forbid, work somewhere else one day, right? So you worry about staff development. You worried about getting the right people in the right seat on the bus. I know that's a very common phrase, but I can thank Amina for really hammering that into my head at one point or another, right? She's one of the best at that. So, we have programs now that 3 years ago, I was under the impression had to have a pharmacist, who is your most expensive employee, right? Now have technicians and cashiers that are doing those programs now and operating at a higher level of completion than the pharmacists were, because the pharmacists were too busy shaking hands, hugging ladies, kissing babies, and checking prescriptions, right? We can take those cashiers and those technicians and we can put those people in those roles. The key to it is, it's not what she does, it's what we do, and this is how we do it. Right? We call it, They call it, amongst the stores, it's either called the MedSmart way, which is like our global brand that we use, or just the Joe way. I try to get away from that. But yeah, it's the MedSmart way. What I said this morning, they should be asking themselves, WWJD, what would Joe do? You know what I mean? That's what I want there, right? Yeah. And I'll be honest, and I'm not trying to blow your head up, but Pioneer is actually key to this. Because of care actions and post edits, that is where WWJD comes in. When they're in a pharmacy and an opportunity presents itself, the technician that's been with you 2 months, that has been working at a TCBY yogurt shop for the past 5 years, is not going to recognize the opportunity, right? And so this is where micromanagement comes in for a lot of pharmacists. They think that I've worked in stores and I've helped clients where the pharmacist is doing the order entry, then they've got a tech that counts and puts in a bottle, and then they've got another pharmacist that is verifying, right? At some stores, it's the same pharmacist doing order entry that is doing the verifying, which is terrifying, because the mistakes that I've made have been where I've done that, right? You're going to establish these ways of doing things. You're going to say, what would Joe do? And then you're going to build WWJD into the system. Because she's been working at a yogurt shop for 5 years. She doesn't know that that's an opportunity. She doesn't know that that patient could also do this. She doesn't know that that payer would prefer this. She doesn't know that the standing orders in the state allow you to do this because that med mix indicates that that would benefit that patient, right? And so you can't take Joe's decades of experience and put those into her head when she starts on day one. No amount of training is going to do that. But I can build all of that into the system that puts up a big blocking edit and says, stop, you should do this because this is an opportunity to better serve this patient, right? Instead of me standing beside her and micromanaging her, I teach her that she needs to go with the flow of the system, that the thing that would best enable her to serve this patient in the best way, that system is going to now point her in that direction. Initially, when it first starts out, they're following the nuances of the machine, of the system, and the taps on the shoulders to direct them. But what it does, though, is it makes them think. They now start to process that add-ons are a good thing, that helping to create a more well-rounded approach to care are a good things. There's care actions down front for OTC recommendations where the cashiers are involved in these kinds of things, like your probiotic or your nutritional support supplements, etc. I mean, there's a million different ways that you don't have to be standing beside them anymore to be efficient and to really help that patient to have the best experience possible, because the system can cue all of those things.